absolutely incredible things from the workout this morning.
Oh,
Really
great.
So great job.
Thank you guys. We had some amazing gentlemen come out and do bar, and let's hear it for the guys. Strong work, huh?
Now I will say one of the things that the reason I know this is we have a crew who's recording people as they leave the workout when they're done, because we're building an asset for the January Super Saturday, which is going to be first impressions of the workout. So if you haven't done Bar Blend yet, but maybe you'd like to be featured in the video, make sure you take the class tomorrow. What is it, 8 a.m. tomorrow?
No, I have the early one tomorrow, so not too much fun tonight, so you can be there 7:15.
Well, it's a little bit. Take you to it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, one of the things, now you might know Elise was one of the trainers in our 3-week yoga retreat. So that was my awareness of you. Like, we met in New York, I think it was, where we shot that. And as we were looking for, because I was getting this like, when are we going to get a bar program? When are we getting a bar program? And you know, we were looking at different trainers having auditions and really frustrated with wanting to find somebody who brought something distinct so that it wasn't just sort of same old, predictable. And so people on the team, Lara was mentioning, Ned Farr was mentioning that you had this background. So we had a meeting in the office, and I'd love for you to share with our leaders a little bit of your background so they understand why we put the yoga girl into the bar program. So can you just describe a little bit of your background so they get the big picture that I got?
Of course. Well, as you say, we don't like to be predictable. So this was really exciting. My background actually started at the bar. My mom put me in ballet lessons because I was constantly crashing into things and supremely uncoordinated, and she thought this might help me live to be 10 years old. So she took me to the bar. I fell in love with ballet right away. I loved the costumes, and for me it really initiated a love of movement. And you know, this was even when I was just still learning to talk. I found this ability to express myself through physical movement, and it became a very intuitive part of my life moving forward. And you know, I have 2 parents who were PhDs in law degrees, went to Ivy League universities. So when I went to college, I went in pre-med because I actually had a very severe fascination with anatomy. I was super nerdy. I like thumbed through Grey's Anatomy to learn more, because I had this one side of me that interpreted movement very intuitively from a young age, and I was intrigued to learn more. But while in college, I found musical theater, as I know you can appreciate, and started to dance in musical theater, which led me to a career in New York. I got to do some really amazing Broadway tours. I got to tour with Tony Curtis and Anne Margaret and just dance on stage in front of thousands of people, and I just felt more and more alive. I got to study with some of the best choreographers in New York, Tony-winning choreographers, and work with them, so really learn from their creative process as well. And so I was inspired to get certified in bar, and my background in bar is super classic. Old school, it's called Lottie Burke method. From there, the bar programs like Pure Bar and other things came about. So I got a really ground level education on classic bar and what that means. But like you, I don't like to be predictable, so I always like to kind of put my spin on it. So teaching in studios was fun, but when I got discovered by Equinox, which is one of the biggest gyms in the country, they brought me on because they were impressed by my bar programs elsewhere, but they gave me the freedom to kind of bring my own experience into it, and I created a class for them back in the day. Hard to imagine because I'm only 27 now, but just kidding, I'm definitely not. But this was probably back in 2006 or so. I had a program called Burn, Bliss, because I always have been passionate about, I want you to feel the burn. Yes, we're gonna sweat. Yes, we're gonna shred. Yes, we're gonna get toned arms and full body, but the bliss is really, for me, what it's about. And I got to play with all of my experience. So in that, I brought a lot of different levels. I added cardio, I added a lot of sculpting, and it was a fun experience. So that's kind of how I found bar.
That's amazing. Now, how did the creation of the Burn Bliss program become sort of the precursor for how Bar Blend is different than sort of the classic Lottie Burke?
Oh, absolutely. Well, this is, first of all, since then, I've had 13 years more experience, and for me, I always think the best trainers are constantly learning, and so I'm always in classes, I'm always in trainings. I like to study all different kinds of movement. I'm Schwinn certified and all of these things, and so it was really the precursor to Bar Blend, because when Equinox brings you on, they put you in the unpopular time slots to see, how your program does. And, I was really able to build, and I think a lot of it was because of the emotional side, the emotional component of motivating people to be their best. My style of leading, if you will, is positive affirmation and a celebration of what your body is capable of doing now, rather than a punishment for what you're not able to do yet. And I think that elevates it, so bringing that into Barre Blend, bringing 13 years more experience, I spent 3 months literally pouring my heart and soul at computers, at a bar, in front of a mirror, exploring moves that make me as an athlete feel stronger. It changed my body completely as someone who was pretty fit before. And then also for those of us that are prenatal, that are postnatal, that if you're like me and you've crossed over the threshold of 40 and maybe, jumping isn't really your jam anymore, I have those options for you guys who love to jump. But I specialize in creating cardio sculpt intervals that are low impact. Some of you can attest who were there this morning, I have one non-impact move in the warm-up that just skyrockets the heart rate. Can I get an amen for people who were there today? So, we're out to debunk myths. So I take that you'll get the classic burn at Barre, you'll get all of the stuff that you expect from a Barre program, you'll get that burn, you'll get those shaking legs, but you'll get so much more. I think doing it is really the only way to really experience it.
Now I want to make a point here. So, pre-med, right?
Yeah.
I mean, studying the anatomy, getting certified in the fundamentals of fitness, the fundamentals of Barre, expanding that into yoga, expanding that into her own expression of this. If you wonder, why do we call them super trainers? Why does Elise represent a super trainer when it's kind of just her second program in here, or Amwala, a super trainer, or Autumn and Joel and Jericho? What is it that makes a super trainer? It's that these people don't stop and they don't get certified once and then just put a program together that you could find anywhere. That's why this stuff is so special. That's what elevates it. And what I can say about Elise is she has the stuff. You start shooting Monday, right?
We shot the sample workout on Tuesday, right before I came out here.
But the actual workout's going to production on Monday.
Oh, it goes Monday, yes.
Okay, so she has been literally evolving this program day by day with the test group that you put together throughout that. So it's literally it's just coming out of the oven.
That's right. It's going into the oven on Monday.
Yeah. Well, talk a little bit about what kind of results have you gotten from the 60-day test group?
Oh my gosh, we did a live test group in LA, and I might get emotional here. The test group, it was incredible. We worked really meticulously to put together a group of people. We had a few professional dancers, a few Barre teachers, a few very elite athletes, because I know you guys out there like to work and like to get shredded. And then we had women, with 30 to 40 pounds to lose, women in their late 50s, women who were newly postpartum. We had a woman who was expecting, so I could practice safety for pregnancy. So we really, really had everyone in mind, and the results were literally mind-blowing. One of my producers, Lisa, did the program. She lost 13 pounds and 11 inches and started off at a super elite level. So we're seeing amazing physical results, but for me, it's the emotional results that these women would come, and it's going to make me emotional, but the confidence that they experienced, they were getting noticed at work, they were getting promoted, they were having up levels in their relationships. One of them was married for many years and had felt like she'd hit a lull, and then the program helped her feel better and more confident about herself, which impacts everything else that they did away from the Barre. And so my dressing room is literally filled with cards just reminding me why I do this, and it is for everyone. We had elite athletes get incredible results, and we had women who literally were self-conscious in their own bodies, who never touched their toes, couldn't even see their toes, come out of this program feeling powerful and elevated. And for me, that is why I know we're all here, right? That's why we're so passionate about what we do.
Well, I know that the emotion.
Thank you. You guys really allow this to come into people's homes, and you change so many lives. And so I bow down to you.
Yeah, well, we like each program to reflect the personality and the objective of the trainer herself. So, you added something to this, which is the motivational cards. That every day there's this stack of 60 cards, I am cards. So every day you sort of hold the deck and you go, you know, what is my intention today? What do I need to work on today? And you pull your card and you go, I need to do a better job speaking at leadership.
No, you don't need any help with that.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, like I said, it's one of the things I think is so important about what we all do. And so we have this idea to create these motivational cards, and they're based on affirmations. So all of the cards start with I am, and then a lot of heart and soul went into selecting these words, thinking about, you know, what words I need to hear when I'm having a hard time or when I'm doubting myself. And so we have 60 very intentional words that are chosen, ranging from I am powerful to I am patient. I know you like I am present. I am forgiving, right? We all make mistakes. We all come up short sometimes. And if we're constantly berating ourselves, we can't thrive. And I know for you guys as coaches too, you know, we're so self-critical. I think sometimes the more accomplished and the more, you know, successful we become, the more hard we are on ourselves, if that resonates with any of you. And a lot of these cards are designed to remind us that we're doing great and to keep on going. And so I think they'll really add a level. In the test group, actually, I had members of the test group pick a card randomly, and I would lead the class spontaneously based on that card. And I think that's going to be an element of filming. It's not going to be pre-planned and pre-coordinated. We're going to pick a card, and today, that's our message. So I think it's going to be really fun.
So they wouldn't let me put a card in that says I am hungry.
That just goes without saying.
But actually, what's cool is, you know, you take that card into the rest of the day with you. But speaking of hunger, we're also approaching this with something that's very important to you, and that is that people don't just commit to a fitness program and expect to have this revelation of weight loss and transformation unless they, on a parallel path, make an equivalent commitment to a nutrition, a deep dive into a nutrition plan. So we actually expanded this test group. While the fitness aspect of this test group launches on, here are the dates, on January 13th is when the official workouts will start. We're starting the group on January 6th, so that you and Autumn, representing Ultimate Portion Fix, and Alana, representing 2B Mindset, will be able to participate in that group, or at least we'll have a deeper dive into the nutrition. Because I don't know if you remember, in the spring, I did 21-Day Fix Extreme, but I did it as part of Ultimate Portion Fix. And what was so powerful for me was the fact that I took the week before I started the 21 days and really dialed in my nutrition. And because of that, the fitness program was so much easier because I wasn't trying to juggle these two overhauls at the same time. I had the nutrition dialed in, and then the fitness just sort of took care of itself. And I know that's something that's important to you.
It is very important to me. You know, I'm like an advocate of our daily Shakeology, and I use a lot of the performance line as well for recovery right after our test group. But the nutrition part before the program, I think, is imperative, because if you took the workout this morning, you know it takes a great deal of energy to do. I'm out to debunk the myth that low impact means low intensity. Low impact just means safe and efficient for the body. But in order to show up powerfully to the bar on day one, I want you to have this week of nutritional information. I love 2B Mindset, love Ultimate Portion Fix. They're amazing tools for everyone out there to feel their best so that they have the energy to show up powerfully at the bar. So, you know, I can build your abs, I can shred your abs, but they're not going to be revealed unless you're eating correctly as well and supporting the strength with the proper amounts of protein and superfoods. And luckily we get to provide all that too, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be, you know, there will be options as people are going through the checkout flow, which I'll talk about in a moment. But here are some of the launch details. I mean, it's a little bit early to get into all the pricing, but one of the things that I do want to mention here is that for people who buy a challenge pack in November, they will get a promo code to get $10 off the digital unlock of Bar Blend, so that, you know, people who are anticipating doing Bar Blend when it comes out, they'll get a little discount for buying in November, and they'll also get a $20 completion pack discount if that's the direction that they want to go. So super excited, and I hope everybody has a chance to try it tomorrow. Last sort of little look before we go into production, and then you'll be going around and get some. Are you going around Super Weekend at all? Or are you too?
Yeah, I think I'm doing Phoenix and Winnipeg.
All right.
Yeah, so I'll see you guys back here soon.
Good. Well, we're super excited about it.
Me too.
You can stop messaging me now. We're going to have a bar program, and it's done by a real leader and innovator in fitness. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody.